Well, this is kind of different. So, this is going to be an episode review for the first episode of Digimon Adventure. What do you call it? Colon? Yeah, that's a name that's going to catch on. You guys know me by now, alright? I hate nostalgia baiting. I wasn't the biggest advocate of this reboot, and in fact, I ranted and raved an entire video about how this reboot would be the death of the franchise. But after I finished watching the first episode, I'll admit, as much of a hater and a doubter as I was at the beginning, this episode was actually better than I thought. Well, much better. But before we get into that, the the opening theme, is no butterfly, alright? It's very generic shonen, and it's pretty much the Taichi slash Agumon opening with just hints of the other chosen children sprinkled all about. Metal Greymon, War Greymon, and Omegamon are spoiled, so there you go, no alternate evolutions like many were expecting. The evolution shot though from Greymon to Metal Greymon in the opening was pretty cool, I'll grant them that. So, to get the nitpicks out of the way, there were quite a crap ton of rather gratuitous throwbacks to the original that were a little bit too contrite for my tastes, including sprites, that whole falling down in the opening thing, and Koshiro meeting Taichi like in our war game. However, aside from that, the show has been surprisingly quite original. So the premise is now more akin to Zero Two, where a shit ton of time will be spent going in and out of the digital world, this time fighting Digimon to alleviate problems in the real world. Seems far more episodic than the original premise and less like an adventure. In fact, I think this premise has been done before, with maybe Gridman or something. Also, the episode structure seems to be very similar to the Gegege no Kitaro it's replacing. Seeing the background of the poster, however, this may change. Some severe issue or problem might necessitate a deeper track into the digital world. Something that I like is that the crests play a more important role from the beginning and serve as their symbols or icons, which is kind of neat. And Taichi actually manages to engage in the fight together with Agumon, which he kind of did in the original as well, but it's appreciated nonetheless as it makes the chosen children seem far more involved and agentive. Also, on the topic of the chosen children, we don't meet all of them at the beginning, and it seems that we're going to be going through a set of episodes where we bring the entire team together a la Sailor Moon. This, I think, is a pretty good change, as it not only allows for more time to get to know the individual characters, they're also going to be able to up the pace quite a bit, with Greymon already making an appearance in the first episode. Now, the only possible danger I can foresee is that, as foreshadowed by the opening, this is going to be mainly a Tai slash Agumon show, with all the other characters playing supporting roles. Like, for example, we don't even get to see Gabumon, as he already appears in Garurumon form. Coupled with the new format, I'm also not too sure how well they'll be able to develop all of the characters, as the adventure and being by themselves was one of the biggest impetus for a lot of the conflicts and self-explorations, reflections, and realizations. Speaking of evolutions, interestingly enough, there doesn't seem to be like a bank scene for the evolutions, by which I mean stock footage. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing that every episode, as I don't think that's going to be sustainable in the slightest. But I always love the non-bank evolution scenes, like the ones they had in that Cross Wars episode. Still, this means no evolution music. I wonder how they'll make us pumped up like how Braveheart did. But seeing how Tri abused the heck out of the bank scenes, this might actually be for the best. And on the topic of sustainable animation quality, yes, the animation is actually surprisingly good. I don't know if they just wanted to start off with a bang, like how they do with their Precure series, or to overcompensate for their shitty Tri movies. But I highly doubt they'll be able to maintain this level of animation quality. If they save the Sakuga for the big fights though, I suppose that'll be fine. All in all, this show is actually quite different. It's different enough from the original that the use of the adventure characters isn't bothering me as much as I thought it would. Though, truthfully, there's really no reason why they couldn't have used new characters beyond attracting old fogies like me. Just saying. I was mainly worried that it would lead to unfair comparisons, and while I have indeed been making some comparisons between the two in this review, the differences really make it so that the original still has its fair share of pluses. Hopefully, this reboot will continue diverging and forging a new path and identity for itself. Still, the next episode being a direct callback to our war game, with the title literally being War Game at the end with the US servers getting hacked, had me groaning. I have to be honest. Lord knows we need another Our War Game scenario after Summer Wars. And check my other video for that can of worms. And with the stakes escalating in the second episode from trains going out of control to international conflict, I'm kind of worried about how they'll keep upping the ante. But regardless, I can say that I'm cautiously optimistic. It still can go either way from here on out, but it's still way too early to call it. However, just the fact that I'm admitting that it's even possible that this show has a chance of being good is nothing short of a miracle. Disclaimer, I also got suckered in by the first try movie as well, and we all know how that turned out, right? So that's how good of a judge of quality I am. So, this actor saying, see you guys in the next episode. Oh, well, for the next episode. Though I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing this review series or not, right? Let's just see how well this first one does.